Do you remember what you had for lunch 2 days ago? Many people just don't have the time to pay much attention to the diet on a day-to-day basis. On some days you have to rush from meeting to meeting, so you can deem yourself lucky if you get lunch at all, but in the evening you are so tired and exhausted that cooking seems like an impossible task. The consequence, we simply tend to eat what's convenient. It's the path of least resistance and fundamentally human. Unfortunately though, many foods that are conveniently accessible and thereby make it into our everyday lives take a huge toll on our body. Of course, short term they give us calories and spike our blood sugar, which makes our brains produce the happy hormones, but in the long run their negative side effects will destroy your health. And since knowledge is power, I will now tell you about 5 everyday foods you should avoid at all costs if you want to live a long and healthy life. However, being aware of them is not all that useful when it feels like there would be no practical alternatives. Therefore, I will also make suggestions how you could replace them effectively as to not mess up your personal daily routine, so you can stay healthy and happy both short and long term. This list has no particular order, but let's start with the most hideous one. Many people actually think this item would be good for their health, when in reality the exact opposite is the case. Maybe to the surprise of some of you, I am talking about fruit juice. Okay, so if fruits are perfectly healthy, containing lots of vitamins, how can fruit juice then be harmful to your body? Well, the problem with fruit juice is that it is essentially a fruit, but stripped of its natural fiber and nutrients. You know, the stuff your body would have cared about the most. All that's left is just water mixed with crazy amounts of sugar. Yes, it is the natural sugar of that fruit, but no longer in its natural form. After the nutrients have been removed, they can no longer help balance the effects of the sugar, which means it can enter the bloodstream uninhibited and in much larger quantities than your liver can handle. But yeah, many people who have a sweet tooth fall for this trap. Everyone knows that sodas are bad for your health, but that fresh fruit is very good for you. As a consequence, they resort to fruit juice as a convenient alternative, when in reality fruit juice is just as bad as soda. But the solution to this problem is actually really simple. Whenever you have this craving for something sweet, forget the fruit juice and instead simply snack on the real fruit. Even during a stressful day, a banana or an apple are just as convenient to consume as a pack of juice. Typically, wherever you can buy the latter, you can also buy the former, so this shouldn't mess with your daily routine at all. So short term you still get a sweet snack, but long term, instead of developing fatty liver disease and diabetes, you give your body all the nutrients it actually needs to function. The second item on my list is also something rather tricky and actually quite similar to fruit juice in principle: white bread. Bread is another food that has been around for thousands of years, so since it stood the test of time, many people think that this means it would be healthy. Which, of course, is true. Bread is packed with important nutrients, so chances are it is a good addition to your diet. However, white bread is made of wheat that has been stripped of pretty much all its healthy components. Very similar to what happens to a fruit when you turn it into juice. Real bread made from full grain provides your body not only with more fiber, but also contains a wide range of B vitamins as well as iron and magnesium. These are important for maintaining energy levels, supporting a healthy immune system, and supporting healthy brain function. Therefore, full grain products are perfect for keeping you energized throughout the day, whereas all that white bread really does is spike your blood sugar levels. Your body breaks down the mangled corn the bread is made of unnaturally quickly. As a consequence, consuming white bread ironically enough leads to feelings of hunger and cravings for more sugary foods, which will contribute to weight gain, leading to numerous health risks. But the problem is that white bread is basically everywhere. So what can you do to avoid it? Due to its longer shelf life and soft texture, it is widely used in all kinds of hot dogs, kebabs, pizzas, and other delicacies you could buy during lunch break or on your way home. Here you have to go a little bit out of your way to not take the easy path, but your body will greatly reward you for it. Yet the good news is that going for full grain alternatives while grocery shopping costs you zero extra time, and preparing some good full grain sandwiches for tomorrow's lunch break is not all that complicated either. In fact, it is very little to ask for when you consider that the trade-off is a healthy meal that also keeps you full much longer. Okay, so what should you actually put on your sandwiches? There are lots of healthy and tasty toppings to pick from, but do yourself a favor and don't make the mistake of choosing ham, salami, or the likes. Processed meats are number 3 on my list here, as lots of people consume them on a daily basis, not realizing what they are doing to their bodies. These meats have been treated with preservatives, flavorings, and other substances to improve taste, texture, and shelf life. They include bacon, sausage, ham, and deli meats, among others, and while they may be convenient and tasty, the negative effects on your health are severe. One concern with processed meats is their high salt content, which contributes to high blood pressure and increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. Additionally, the preservatives used to increase shelf life have been linked to a higher risk of certain cancers, such as colon or stomach cancer. On top of that, processed meats are often high in trans fats, which damage your arteries and increase the risk of all kinds of cardiovascular diseases. But fortunately, foregoing these artificially manufactured products which bear a resemblance to real meat is quite easy. I'm not a vegetarian by any means. However, when it comes to consuming meat, you should always go for lean meats or wild fish. Yes, they are more expensive, but by not supporting large-scale livestock farming, you are both helping the planet and keeping yourself healthy. For your sandwiches, you can easily go for cheese, which is actually quite good for your body, or choose from the large variety of plant-based options like hummus, avocado, etc. The next item on my list that you should avoid whenever possible is diet soda. So we've already talked about the reasons why sugary drinks are bad for your body. But doesn't diet soda completely eliminate that problem? It doesn't contain any sugar, and all the artificial sweeteners just enter and exit your body without doing much, right? If only that were the case. The studies concerning the effects of sugar alternatives are still ongoing, but we already know about plenty of ways in which the sweeteners used in diet soda cause serious harm in our bodies. Even though they are marked as low-calorie options, diet soda, ironically enough, contributes to unhealthy weight gain. While it is true that the sweeteners do not contain calories themselves, they've been shown to actually increase cravings for sweet foods. This is due to the fact that artificial sweeteners interfere with the body's ability to regulate food intake and metabolism, leading to an increase in appetite. But in addition to doing the exact opposite of what they are supposed to do, diet sodas come with even more health risks. A big one is their impact on your bones. Diet sodas are high in acid, which makes it more difficult for your body to absorb calcium. This effect gets especially noticeable over time, increasing your risk of bone fractures as you age. But this is truly just the tip of the iceberg. Because furthermore, artificial sweeteners have also been linked to tooth decay, kidney damage, and an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. You are arguably better off consuming sodas with added sugar instead of artificial sweeteners. That's how bad they are for you. But again, if you want to stay fit and healthy, stick to drinking water and eating fresh fruits whenever you crave something sweet. The last item I want to talk about are microwavable meals. You know, the frozen dinners you can buy in any supermarket and which are fast and easy to prepare without much effort. Buying a couple of these while grocery shopping can be quite tempting, as they promise an easy alternative to cooking after a stressful day. At the same time, they often contain foods that look like they'd be perfectly healthy and good to eat. Pasta, broccoli, cheese, tomatoes, vegetables, and so on and so forth. And sure, these ingredients are indeed quite healthy, but the sinister truth about those frozen dinners is that they are also loaded with added sugar, trans fats, and ridiculous amounts of salt. Of course, salt is an essential mineral that helps regulate the balance of fluids in your body and plays a role in muscle and nerve function. However, when you consume too much of it, it causes an increase in blood pressure, which then leads to an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. So opting for frozen meals is not a viable choice, as convenient as it may be short-term. What you instead can do is just buy frozen vegetables that have been left in their natural state. They are usually right next to the frozen dinners in the supermarket, but unlike them, they have not been mixed with all kinds of junk. Frozen vegetables are just as healthy as fresh ones, but they don't go stale nearly as fast. You can actually cook quite the variety of one-pot dishes with them, which is only slightly more work than microwaving a frozen meal after a long day at work. The effects on your health, however, are a night and day difference, both short and long term. Remember, all you need to do to get more content on personal health and happiness into your custom feed is clicking the subscribe button. But yeah, we've talked a lot about things you shouldn't do if you want to preserve your health. So if you're interested in what you can do to actively build your health, then click the link on your screen right there.